Hi everyone, I thought I'd come on here and just give a little bit of an NSV, or I don't even know if I want to call it that, but an update and maybe something a little bit motivational for you if you're struggling being able to get things done that you want to get done. For lack of, for me, honestly, it's a lack of motivation because of my mobility issues. It's just hard to do anything. But I also know that, okay, my fan is on, just blew over a piece of paper, a cardboard thing. But anyway, it's hard for me to find motivation sometimes because I don't. It's a lot to move my body, to move it more than just walking. But I know I need to do it, and I know that I need to get my house cleaned up. I know I need to get my room cleaned up because I want a happier environment. I want an environment that I feel comfortable and proud of, not one that I have to hide and be embarrassed if somebody shows up or if you see it on here. And it gives me peace. I have never been a real messy person, but the fatter I get, I'm going to be honest with you, easier it is to let things go because it's just so hard to keep them clean. And I don't like that about myself. So anyway, we're working on getting that changed back around. But I've been having a hard time getting the motivation to do it. It's just like, oh, tomorrow. And I'll say, okay, today's the day, and I'll talk myself out of it. And I have sat and cried and screamed at myself and still can't do it. And as much as I hate to say this, it really does come down to just doing it. If you can't do it without screaming and yelling, do it screaming and yelling, because that's basically what happened this morning. I had a perfect opportunity before Jason was up, and I had to, get his breakfast, get him off to work, and I said, get it done now before I live in Texas, so get it done before the Texas heat hits. And it was every reason to do it. I had no excuse not to other than my own blocks. And I'm looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, and I finally just said, do it. And I had a perfect opportunity. I was right there. So I did. I got 2 bags out, and that might not seem like a lot because I probably had like 15 to go. I know that's embarrassing, and if I was a stronger person, more confident, or whatever you call it, I would probably show you the mess so I could do the after and you could see the difference. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to see the negative stuff. I don't want to see people shaming me. I shame myself enough. So we're just imagine it being, it's just everything's piled and not in its place, and things I just don't need anymore, or I don't know what to do with it, and everything's in, like, I try being heavier, just easier for everything's in my reach. Well, that's not doing me any good. So I got 2 of them out, and I wanted to come on here and kind of share with you something that I tried that seems to be working more. I have talked about taking your tasks and breaking them down, and that's what I've done everywhere in my house. Take this section. Well, I realized I was still getting overwhelmed, and my problem is I had the task. I'm like, I had to get that whole area done, that whole one area, and then I would look at everything else around me that had to be done. It would just overwhelm me. And I know some of that has to do with my depression and my anxiety, and it's probably, and I don't like to self-diagnose, but I may have some ADHD issues because it's very hard for me to concentrate. I'm not saying I do, I'm just saying I have some traits of not being able to stay focused. I squirrel very easily, and when I squirrel and see all the other stuff that I have to do, it overwhelms me, and then my mental health plays a part. So what I've done is I broke even the smaller parts down into even smaller, and I am focused on that area. Get that one area done. So if I have this much, like I have like this little hallway between my desk and the closet door, and that is completely full of like all my crafting stuff, and just there's boxes that have garbage, not like garbage like food garbage, but like packages where I opened up and the inside parts, things like that in a box. All that needs to go. It needs to go. My crafty stuff, unfortunately, I'm getting rid of. All the things I made because I've had them for years and I never sold them. So I need to start out fresh. Not that I'm never ever going to crochet and stuff, because I love doing it, but it's going to be on a smaller scale now because I have decided not to try to get that business going. I've gone more into the digital world. But anyway, I'm concentrating, like I have like, I'm looking at right now like one box. That's my task that I need to do. Get that one box done. Okay, the box is done. Now what? Move on to the next tiny area, and I will check them off my list as I go. I've sat down and I wrote everything I need to get done, and even broke it down even further. I didn't just say area by the closet. It's the box, then the second box, and then the third box, then all the cardboard, and then all the wrappings and stuff like that. That way it's one tiny section at a time, and I will not move on until that one section is done. And it's really helped me stay focused. And I promised myself 2 full bags of garbage when I designate the day to do it. And I got my 2 done. And now I could be done for the day if I want to be. But I think I may do a 3rd or 4th, because I'm telling you, once you start doing it, there's something that happens. It's like you just want, it just makes you feel good. And I want to keep that feeling and momentum going. So I think I may do another box or 2. I'm not expecting to get it all done today. If I do, that would be awesome, but I'm not putting that expectation on me. I know that may sound silly to some people, but when you are struggling with mental health, you're struggling with mobility issues, you're struggling with just the overwhelmness of it, you take your small victories. You don't sit there and I'm not going to put myself down because, well, you could have gotten this, this, and this, and I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that anymore. It's like, wow, look what you got done. Now we're going to do the next part, and the next part, and the next part. And not put on what I did not get done. I focus on what I did get done. Negative needs to go. Stay with the positive, stay with that feeling. And sure, it may not be done next week. It may not be done next month. But it will get done. I am not anybody else's schedule but my own. And I'm not here to please anybody else but myself. Well, obviously, and Jason too, but he's really good about it. And I had to share it because it's like, maybe I finally found something that's working. And sometimes, I know if you're like me, I don't like to hear just do it. I don't like it. It's like, if I could just do it, I would. But it really does come down to, you have to find something within yourself to do it. And some days I can do it, and some days I just can't convince myself to. And I have to learn to forgive myself and move on. But today, I convinced myself, perfect opportunity to get things done, and I would have wasted that opportunity if I just stayed. I was laying down. I hadn't gotten, well, that's not true. I don't know how to explain this. We have, this used to be our old bedroom before. We used to live with Jason's brother, and then he passed away. So we moved into the master bedroom, and we still have a bed in here. And sometimes I have to come in here because of my hot flashes at night. Jason hates fans. So anyway, I had to come in here. I get up, I have a hot flash. I just come in here so I'm not like tossing and turning and bothering him. So I come in here, and I was laying there going, okay, I don't have to get Jason's breakfast for another couple hours. What can I do? Or can I just lay here for 2 hours? And I thought, that's such wasted time, but it feels so good. And I turned over and I saw this mess because it was right next to the bed. And I thought, there's 2 garbage bags that I've had sitting there for who knows how long that I was supposed to have done weeks ago and didn't. Like, a perfect opportunity. You just roll out on this side and you're right there. There was no other reason other than me wanting to be lazy. And that's just the honest truth. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to get it done. Well, it's still cool. And it's not 100 degrees outside, and I have some time to myself. So I did. And sometimes you just have to do what you don't want to do, and it's very hard to talk yourself into it. And I didn't do it with any great expectations. I didn't do it going, I've got to please anybody else. It's all about focusing on yourself. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps somebody. But if something, you break a task down and it still feels overwhelming, break it down even further. You break it down to what fits and makes you get what you want done. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks of it. And that's really what I've done. So break them down. If they're still too big for you, break them down smaller and stay focused on that one spot. Promise yourself you're not going to work on anything else or do anything else until that one spot is done. That way, if it is overwhelming, you can get up and walk away and do something else and come back to the other spot later. But at least that one spot is done. All right, guys, I hope it helped. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.